Hello, welcome to this part 3 of multi-span steel structure building creation. Today we are going to place gutters in between trusses to trap rainwater from two roof slopes. This side and this side. Water will be trapped and flowing down to a gutter that will be placed in between these two trusses. And all those waters will be drained into a reservoir that will be deep underground, or will be just a tank that will be erected just beside this building right here. Welcome once again, I'm Morris Dimba, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and let's get started. From this end, let me just bring it close so that we have a clear view of what we are trying to do. I want to first of all to start placing the points that will be guiding me on how the gutter will be folded, or the sheet will be bent to take the profile of a gutter that will be able to hold that flow of water and direct all the flow into a downspot that will be directing the water into a reservoir. Let me just bring it close, and I'll first of all start with placing the points. I'll come to edit here. Once I've clicked on edit, I'll be able to access this command. I'll click on these points, the down arrow under points, and I'll have variety of points to pick on. I'll pick on the at any position point. I'll pick on that. And I'll bring this close and snap right at the corner here. I'll right click and exit by clicking interrupt to take me off that point command. Now I want to offset this point going this way, taking the slope of the truss. I'll first of all reorient my XYZ plane. I'll come to view here, then under view I'll be able to pick on work plane tool. Under work plane we have a down arrow here. I'll click on that down arrow. Then under this we will have variety of planes to choose from. I'll work with the first one. To work with the first one, very simple. Just mouse over the part you want the plane to take the slope from. I'll mouse over this side, and you can see the XYZ plane is taking the slope of the truss. I'll click on that. Once you've clicked, just right click and come to interrupt to take you off that active command of work plane tool. Now I'll come here and click on this point. Once I've clicked on this point, I'll right click once again and come to special copy, then move to linear. I want to move it straight on X axis. By what dimension? I want to offset it with 400 millimeter. I'll come here and just type 400 millimeter, not 4 meters. How many copies do I need? I just need one, and I'll go ahead and click copy. There we are, and I'll click accept by clicking the OK button right there. Now we have 2 points here. Another point we want is the point that will be running perpendicular from this point going upward. I'll click on this point, and taking into account the slope of our plane, or the position of our XYZ axis will not allow us to offset this upright, or at 90 degrees, or at a straight line. To do that, what we'll do, we'll come back at view, then come to work plane tool and change the position of our XYZ position, and we'll just snap right there and right click and exit. You can see we've changed the orientation of our XYZ plane so that we can offset this straight up by 150. We want to offset it up by 150. Now I'll click on this point, then right click and come to a special copy. I'll click on linear. Then once we've clicked on linear, we have Y and X axis here. Now under X axis we have 400, and if you feed that 150 here, we won't move any further to our target. First of all, we have to change the x-axis to 0, then come to y-axis and feed 150, the dimension we intend to offset this point about, or 2. I'll come here and click copy. It will move up by 150 millimeter. I'll come here and click OK to accept the result. Now from here, we want to offset this way by 60 millimeter, but I wanted to take the slope of this truss. To do that, come back here and click on workplane tool and pick on that workplane tool command and just mouse over and click on the slope of this truss. Then right click to terminate that command. I'll come here once again and click on this point. Once I've clicked on it, I'll right click and give it an offset of 60 meters in the x-axis direction, in the x direction. For that to work, first of all, you have to change your initial axis to 0, then come to x-axis here. I'll feed 60 millimeter right there, and give an offset and click a copy button right here, right there. You can see we've made an offset of this from this point to this point by 60 millimeter. I'll click OK to accept that. Now what we're going to do, we want to create a plate of 3 millimeter thick, though it's so thick, but it's okay. When coming to actual work, we can change it to a 2 millimeter sheet and bend it to take the profile of a very good gutter that will be draining or directing the flow of water into the downspout, or from the downspout straight to reservoir for domestic use. Now, inside here or under this, I'll click on this point once again and offset it with 3 millimeter. I'll right click and come to special copy and click linear, and I'll feed 3 millimeter right there. I'll click 3 millimeter. It will be an offset of 3 millimeter right there. You can see that. Then this point, we want to bring it down again by 3 millimeter. And for that to take effect, or for that to work perfectly, we have to reorient our XYZ plane. We'll come to workplane tool and just mouse over this part, over that part, right click and interrupt to exit that, to end that command. Then we'll come to this point right here, right click and come to special move and click linear. We want to move it down using the y-axis. We'll come to y-axis and feed 3. Once you fed 3 right there and click move, it has moved in the wrong direction. Let's just click undo. First of all, we are moving the opposite direction of the y-axis, so we have to prefix this dimension with a negative sign. Then come here and click move. It has moved down with 3 millimeter, which is okay. Now we want to copy this. This point. We'll click on that, right click and come to copy, and we want to hold it using this point. We'll click on that spot and move all the way down here. Move all the way down here, but that is not the best way. That is not the best way. We'll come back and do the same thing we did up here by following the workplane tool. We'll click right there and click on that, then click on this truss. Then we'll come here, we'll come right there, then right click and come to special copy and click on linear. Then under linear, we'll check which axis we want to offset this to. We want to offset this to, we want to offset this by 3 millimeter in the direction of the x-axis. We'll go ahead and click OK and accept that. Then once that has been done, we'll come right here and click on this, right click and come to copy and pick it from that spot. Then we'll move right down here and snap right here, and we'll delete this. We'll delete that one. That's perfect. And here also we want to offset this. We want to copy. You want a copy of this downward by 3 millimeter, and that for that to work perfectly, we have to change the position of our work plane tool. We'll just snap right. We'll just click on this side, right click, and come to interrupt to end that copy command or points command. Then we'll click on that point, right click, and come to special copy and click on that. Then we come to y-axis. First of all, we change the x-axis to 0, then come to y-axis, we change this to 3, but we have prefixed this dimension with a negative sign right here. We'll just click on that and feed a negative sign. We'll click OK and accept that by clicking an OK button. Now we are on the right track, and what we're going to do next is very simple. It's just to mirror this to the other end. To mirror that, we have to select all these points. Let me just come here, right click and click interrupt first of all, and come back here and select on this. I'll press Ctrl while selecting the points here. I'll click on that and click on this. Then I'll move down right here and pick on this and pick on the last point right there. Then come all the way here and pick also on this point. Then zoom out. Then I'll right click and come to special copy and click mirror. I'll pick a mirror point or a mirror line from this plate, from the midpoint of this plate. I'll snap right here and snap on a straight line right there. You can see the angle is 90, and click OK and give it an acceptance by clicking an OK button. Click interrupt to terminate that command. Now if we zoom it out, you can see the points have been mirrored the other end, this end. Now from here we want to follow the profile or follow the points to come up with a nice profile of a gutter. We can start it from this point or from this end by coming to steel and going to steel plate here by clicking the first option of plate, then snap right here. Come all the way down here by zooming out close to make sure you snap on the accurate points. Then snap on that point right there. Then move all the way down here and snap right on this one right there. Move all the way to the other end and snap on this point and snap on this point. Then we move to the next one. We move all the way to this point right here and snap on it right away. We'll snap on that. Then come up. We'll come all the way up here and we snap on this. Then we'll move all the way to this part and snap on it and snap on this, and come all the way to this one here and snap on that. Then come down. We're following the profile of our gutter and snap on that. And one thing we never did is offsetting these points up by 3 millimeter. So there's no way we can complete our polygon unless a polygon of a plate with the 3 millimeter thick, unless we offset these two plates up by 3 millimeter. It's a simple thing to do. Just select on them and select on that and right click and come to special, right click and come to special copy here and click linear. Then on the y-axis we'll remove this a negative sign and we'll copy it up, copy the 2 points up by 3 millimeter that way, and we'll click OK. By once you click OK, everything will exit. We come back and start that again. We can either start from this spot, we can start from that point, come all the way to that point, and come all the way to this point here, and come down here. Just come down here and click on this point. Come here and do the same thing and snap right here. Snap right here. Come out and snap right here. We'll snap right there and come up. Move up here and we'll snap on this point. We'll snap on that point and come and snap on this point right here. We'll snap right there and snap right there. And come all the way and snap here. We'll move all the way down, keeping the 3mm thick plate intact, and we come on the point that we forgot to place. These are the points, maintaining the thickness of our sheet that will be folded to create a very nice gutter for water flow trap from the roof. And let's just click on this point right here. Let's click on that point and target the other end, and we'll snap right here. We'll snap right here, and the moment we snap here, we'll be closing our polygon and the plate profile will be created. And the fabricators will use the bend that we've created to come up with a very nice profile similar to this. Now we'll close our polygon right there, and the plate will be created right there. You can see that in place, but it's not reaching the far end of our 60-meter length of our structure. Remember, we'll just make it a full stretch of 60 meters, and when it comes to actual work and the workshop, it will be folded in a 6-meter sheet metal joint to make a full length of 60 meters. It will not be a full 60 meter when the folding is being done. On the workshop, it will be done 6 meters, and on site it will be joined to make a 60-meter stretch of the whole length of our building. Now I want to make it the full height, the full length. I want to make the full length from here, and the length will use the thickness of the plate. In this case, you can see this. If I double click on this plate or that sheet and come to contour plate properties here, you can see the thickness is 10, which means the distance from here to here is 10 millimeter. Now we want to use the thickness in this plate, in this case, as our length for our gutter. Now I'll come here and delete this 10 millimeter thickness and feed 60 because I want it to stretch to overlap the total height or the total length of our building, so that it provides a provision where the spout will be placed for water discharge to a reservoir. Now I'll feed 60 and feed 500 right there. It's 500 right there, so it will be 60.5. Then I'll go ahead and click modify. I'll apply that and accept the length. So if we move the other way, if we move all the way to the other end, if we move all the way to this end, you can see what I was talking about. There's a slight extension of 500 millimeter for sprout fixing. So the spout will be fixed right here, and this side will be closed. Now let me just press Control and turn this around so that you can have a clear view of what I'm talking about. The extension is this. From this end, from this point to this point is 500 millimeter. Then the spout will be erected, going all the way down, being directed to water reservoir. Now we can close this. This can be closed right now. We can come to plate and just follow the profile of this gutter. Come back on steel and click on plate. Click on that and click here. We'll click on this corner and go all the way to this end and click right here and click right here. We'll snap right here, we'll snap right there and snap right here, and come all the way and snap right here, snap right here and move all the way down here. Just move down here and snap at the bottom end here. We'll just snap at the bottom end here and move down also, and snap down here, snap down here, move up this end and snap here. We just follow the profile just to close this end of our gutter, and we'll snap on this spot and snap on this spot and close our polygon by clicking on our initial spot. We'll right click, and what we wanted to be created has been created, and it has gone slightly inward, and we'll just double click on it and come to plate and click front, and not front, we'll click behind and click modify. It has moved out, and apply and give it an acceptance by clicking the OK button. Once that has been done, we want to weld this to this, and prior to doing that, we want first of all to copy this end to the other end, which is a very simple thing to do. Very simple thing to do. We just click on that, right click, and come to copy. Come to copy, or we can just double click on that and add 61 here, 61 meters here, 61 meters here, 61 meters, and click modify, apply and accept. Once we've done that, we'll click on this, then right click and come to move. We'll come to move special, and come to move special and click linear. Then we'll work with the z-axis. Then under z-axis here, we'll just feed a negative sign and feed the 500 here, and click move, and it will move right to a position that we wanted it to move to. You can see that it has moved to this end. Now we want to move this that side. Press Ctrl and select on this and move it. We'll click move, special move, click move. Then we delete this, then click move. We'll move that way by 500 millimeter, and that will be done. So what we'll do, just click on this cover, right click and come to copy, click on copy. Then we'll copy this the other end. We'll copy this the other end. Just click, right click, then come to copy, click linear. Then under z-axis, we'll change this y-axis, then work with the z-axis. We'll feed 61 meters, 61 meters, and click copy, click accept, and click interrupt just to end that copy command. Then when we zoom out and go this end here, when come this end, you can see that has been copied this end. But you can see some clashing on this, but this should not worry you. We can just once this has been selected, by first of all, let's weld this. Come to weld by clicking weld, by typing weld right here. Then just finish the weld, then pick on that. We want to weld this to that. Let's see how that is being done. A weld has been created, so it is a unit. It's a full assembly. We'll zoom out, just zoom out, and we want to weld this to this. A weld has been created. It has been welded. Now, if we press Alt on the keyboard and pick on this, everything will be selected, and you right click and come to special copy or special move and click linear. And first of all, check the position of your XYZ axis. In this case, the Y is facing up, so we have to change the Z axis in this case to 0. Then come to Y axis and feed a 3 millimeter. We want to move it slightly up by 3 millimeter up. Or you can feed another 5 millimeter and move it slightly up, so the poles we cannot see them. we can go ahead and now save everything here. Now once we've done that, we'll first of all close this. We'll give it some time to process the information about saving everything. Now I'll close this. Once I've closed that, I'll press Alt and select on this. So I want to copy this to in between the trusses that will be draining water from two slopes of the trusses. I'll come to copy and snap here. I'll snap right there, then copy it from that spot, and I want to place another one at this point. Between these 2 points, between these two trusses, you can see this. We need a gutter right there to trap all the water flow, all the rain water flow, and we'll snap right there. Once that has been done, we'll target another position and snap another one right there. And that's all. The other extensions will be done later on, and this is a good idea that you've mastered or picked a rough idea on how to slightly come up with a gutter that will be serving two slopes, or directing the water flow from two slopes of two slopes of the roof, and directing the flow into downspot, and direct it once again to the water reservoir. I can bring this close so that you can see what we are doing, and don't forget also to save your work. We've done this, and the spout will be placed right at the end here. Let me just turn that round, and also can switch can switch back to plan view so that you can have a clear view of this. Let me just click on empty screen, and you can see the gutters. The first gutter, this is the second gutter, this is the third gutter. So the flow will be from this slope draining to that gutter, and from this slope draining to that gutter, and that one to that gutter, and that one to that gutter. Now, this end also will have just like one gutter that will be serving just guiding the flow of water from one slope of one side of the truss. And that it's now a simple thing to do. And if you take a look on our previous videos, you can learn that from that video on how to do a gutter that will be draining water from one slope of truss. Let me switch back to isometric view once again, and this is what we're having now. You can see the boundary for our model has stretched way out. Let me just click on that, and right click and come to fit work area to entire model. Perfect. You can see this. We have the gutters in place. Now I can go ahead and save this. Once I've saved that, everything will remain intact. Perfect. Now, if you're new to this channel, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel. And this is the end of our presentation today. Let's meet on the next presentation. I'm Maurice Dimbo. Once again, don't forget to subscribe, and let's learn Tekla from this channel. Bye bye. Let's meet then.